Hey y'all, Natalie here today, and it's time for the 80/20 series that I do with my friend Sara Scraps. Now, I have a life stories layout I'm doing today. This is a monthly kind of prompt list that the Scrap Gals do with their podcast, and I think this one is from May. I've been meaning to do this layout for a really long time, and I just finally got myself over to my mom's house and got some copies of some photos and just decided to do it. So I am doing the prompt of tell about your childhood bedroom. So I have these 4 photos here of baby Natalie and her childhood bedroom. We moved right before I started kindergarten, and my mom decorated my room in this like super frilly pink, pale pink, very, very fancy style. And so I needed to tell that story and document these photos about myself. So I'm just trying to figure out the design of my page. I showed you at the beginning there all of the journaling. I did all the journaling. I printed it on 8.5 by 11 and I made it fit the entire page. Normally I do like a 6 by 12 page to accompany the photo page, but this time it's going to be a little bit bigger just because I printed it bigger, but that's fine. So I have this super frilly pink floral paper. It has some darker pinks and some blues, which actually the wallpaper of my room also had a little bit of baby blue in it. So I thought that would really be really good. There was also ivory in the wallpaper of my room. And so I am using my 2 favorite large punches from EK Success to punch a pink piece of paper and a blue piece of paper. And I'm going to layer those up on either side of this pearlescent ivory piece of paper. And that's going to house my photos. I also used my Heather alphas from iCrafter, which Sara had convinced me to buy. Those dies, I have the lowercase ones, and the title is going to be Pretty in Pink because my room was very pink. And so I did the word pink and like a pink glitter. And then I did the word pretty in the same kind of checked pattern that I have punched out the side borders with. So I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what it's going to look like. In our 80/20 series, Sara and I tried to make layouts that contain at least 80% embellishments. I don't know that I attained that here. I do have quite a bit of paper, but anyway, I got the page done, and it has a lot of embellishments on it, so I'm not sure the percentage. But anyway, I'm roughing up the edges of that pearlescent paper, and I'm sticking the 2 border pieces together. I tried to kind of talk myself out of doing some sewing, but in the end, I did sew around the edges of that ivory piece with the border, as well as a zigzag stitch around the floral background paper, just because when you add those stitches, it just adds a whole nother layer of like completeness, maybe. I don't know. For me, it just feel like it makes my page feel like it took way longer than it did, maybe. I don't know, because it doesn't take that long to run it through the machine, but it just has this finished look that is so nice. So I stick down. So I am cognizant of that when I'm putting my adhesive on here. So I didn't do a ton of adhesive while sticking the border to that pearlescent ivory paper, because I figured I was probably going to stitch around it. And your sewing machine doesn't typically love to go through adhesive too much. So this is when I still wasn't convinced I was going to stitch, but I put all this on here and get to what it's going to look like. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stitch. So I do back all of the photos with that same pink paper. And that is such an old piece of paper, y'all, like from an original paper pad that I had when I first started scrapbooking, like over 20 years ago. So old. Like, why do I still have that in my stash? But hey, I've used it up now. If there's any bit left, I'm just going to toss it. So I'll take this chance to let you know that Sara has a video. I'm going to link it down below in the comments for her 80/20 layout today. And I'm so grateful that she loves to do this series with me. It's so fun. So I have some white flowers, and some of them are glitter and some of them are just plain. And they're kind of like crepe paper, but thicker maybe. Anyway, I'm using my cotton candy shimmers to spray them. I just tested one and it worked out. And so I decided to spray a bunch of them. So I spray those and let them dry. They're very thick, almost fabric-like, so they did not disintegrate. I did try to paint some florals with a shimmers kit a while back, and they were more like paper florals, and they did not hold up very well to the paint. But these did, because they were more like a fabric material. I don't think they were paper. If they were very strong paper. What are we doing here? Okay, so we're going ahead and adhering down the photos and the alphas, and then I'm going to sew around the edge of the paper after we get those down. But I did not go ahead and adhere the larger piece of paper with the photos to the background paper yet, which I am glad about. So I did separately stitch. You can see I did the zigzag stitch around the floral paper and then just a regular stitch around that paper. So I just have these 4 photos of me in my room at different angles. And then that whole piece of journaling over there just kind of tells how the room was decorated and everything. I told Sarah when I showed her my page, I'm like, it's not really my style. And she was like, you're right. It doesn't really look like Natalie's style. But I was like, but you know what? My bedroom wasn't really my style now. Like, of course, I loved it as a child, but it's of course not something I would pick now. So I was like, it works, you know. But I loved it, all the frills and fanciness. I was an only child for almost 10 years, so I had a playroom, and until it became my little brother's room when he was born. But so my bedroom was frilly and pink and fancy, and it didn't have a bunch of toy clutter in it because I had a playroom. So now I'm going and I'm adding some very one-dimensional clear pink stickers. Those are from Recollections. I'm just kind of layering them under the photos and some of the title. And then I'm going to go back through with these paper flowers. The white ones are from Prima. I think the ones that I painted pink are from Recollections. And I'm just going to kind of group them up, and basically I'm just throwing a bunch of clusters on here. And like I said, these 80-20 layouts are supposed to be a ton of embellishments, so that's what I'm doing here. I grabbed that like balloon stickers from an old Webster's Pages sticker sheet. I did 3 large white alphas just because we like to do odd numbers, right, to be visually pleasing, and then clustered the pink flowers under and around them. I'm also going to go in with some pearls. They're kind of like enamel dots or whatever, but they're just pearls, and they're pretty big, actually. They kind of stick off the page a lot. But the room was very pearly. I think I probably had some pearls in some of the decor as well, so I thought those would be really good. So I also grabbed those pearls from my stash, as well as those little gem pearl things also worked really well. Those have been in my stash forever. I just got them on clearance on Hobby Lobby, but they worked so perfectly for this page, so I was really glad that I pulled those out. They're like little chevrons, and they have a pearlescent look, but they're also like gems, faceted. They are shiny, so all the good things that Natalie liked. Little Natalie liked that, and adult Natalie also likes that. I'm also adding in 2 different shades of Pink Fresh Studio Essential Gems, because why not? I love those, and adding more embellishments. And I think that's about all of the embellishments I add at first. And then I want to embellish my page with all of the journaling, and I find a few more stickers that I just need to add to this page, but they don't fit on the journaling page, so I have to go back and add them to this photo page. You'll see that here in a minute. But I'm really enjoying how this is coming together. It's a lot of embellishments and a lot of bling and florals, very fancy, like my room was. I will also post down below my blog. I've recently started posting all of my still shots to my blog as well. So if you want to have a chance to like read all of the journaling, then it will be there and legible, hopefully. So I tried to pull out like small stickers and stuff, but then I found these 2 hot air balloons that were from Shimmers a while back, and I was like, well, I've got to use those because they matched perfectly, and they're just kind of like girly and frilly, you know. And then I also found this cute little bunny sticker, and I thought that would go well because I had a bunch of stuffed animals there and that parasol on the wall, as one does, obviously. So I have this little like story wood veneer and just a couple of very small rectangular stickers. So I'm going to cluster a little bit at the top with a flower, as well as the bottom with a flower and a couple of jewels. So it brings in some of the elements from the photo page and repeats them on this page to just kind of bring a level of cohesion and a little bit of interest around the story. I think that's about it. Make sure you go check out Sarah's video for her 80/20 page as well. And like I said, I'll post down below where you can find still photos if you are interested in reading the journaling or seeing just a full page shot of that. But yeah, thanks to the Scrap Gals for the inspiration for the story. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.